Okay guys, in this video I'm going to do subscriber stock picks. I get a lot of comments, subscribers asking me to look at different stocks. So I like to do these videos every now and then. It does take quite a bit of time. So again, I do appreciate it. You guys keep commenting and putting your ideas and leave me a thumbs up, especially for this video, because I do try to go out of my way to help you guys out. So let's get into it. We're going to start out with FSLY, FSLY. I know this one made headlines this week because it gapped down pretty massively, down 30% or so, and that's just something, when you get these high flyers and you start to see signs that the momentum's fading, they can go the other way quickly, and that's why usually I look to fade the really strong momentum stocks when you get the signs, of course. Okay, so I'm on the hourly chart here of FSLY, and here's what I've got marked up. We've got a shelf of support right here at 73.85. It's right in that area. You can see we held that several times, and so I think we come down to that. Now we could move up, back into this gap a little bit and then make our way down, but I think ultimately going to get a tag of that again. If we break that level, there's really a thin zone right up here where there's no trading action. It's a very thin zone of not a lot of trading right through here, all the way down to about 45.27. If you look here at the volume that took place right through this area, it's pretty thin volume. I mean, it's not a lot of volume, and it made the move very quickly. So there's just not a lot of trading in that area. So a breakdown, and I suspect that you're going to have a quick flush down to this level of 45.27. Again, it's not necessarily going to be to the penny, and from that level, a breakdown would be a move of about 38%, and that's what I see. So as of right now, it is coming down to the near-term support 74.57, right around there. Probably going to battle with that a little bit. It's probably not going to just completely collapse. I would expect they'll battle it out a little bit. And this recent collapse was forecasted by this negative divergence here on the hourly. It's not a very big one, but you can see that started to negatively diverge in this price action right up in here. Each higher price was on lower and lower momentum, and then you get the breakdown. That's what I see on that one. So I would be looking for a break of that down to that support level. And then that's probably the area where, if I was going to short this or trade this, I would be exiting that trade. If you're a buyer and you want to go long, well, I'd probably be looking to buy down here at this, this 74.30 area. Right now, it's just in the middle of this range, so nothing to do until we're near some levels. On the daily here, big negative divergence here on the daily. You can see diverging and the price just continued to make higher prices. So this price right up in here was a negative divergence of the price, especially when it started to turn down. And so that is how that one's playing out as of right now. Moving on. Someone asked me to look at Snowflake, and I'm going to do this real quick, but I don't chart the ones that just come out. There's not enough data points. If something just IPOs, this is what the chart looks like. I can't make anything of it. This is basically a crapshoot or a gamble. There's no logic or reasoning or charting behind it. It's just it's momentums. It's people jumping in. It's people jumping out. So that's why I don't chart those. So I have no opinion. Someone asked me to look at DocuSign. I keep this one on my radar. I've had several good trades on this one. Right now, here's what I see. I'm watching for it, but we have no negative divergence, really. You had negative divergence right here. This big peak was a divergent high right when it ramped up. That was your perfect short. That's when I got short. When it did this move right up into resistance right there, I took the short right in there, and then it obviously had a good move down. But now on this daily chart, the price is still, still below that previous price. So you'd need to see price make a move up higher with momentum making a lower move or not getting higher than this previous high. So as of right now, kind of no man's land. It's just not really anything I see potentially worth trading. Yeah, that's kind of how I'm looking at this one. There's just not a whole lot going on. You've got some support right here. You can actually see it. I didn't have it marked out, but it's right about there on the, they kept stepping in a little early, but right about there, 187 roughly. So we could obviously, you know, go back down to that 187 and, you know, but I don't see any setup right now on this one. All right, Fiverr International. Someone asked me to look at this one. I have not looked at this one. I don't think I've ever looked at this one. All right, so see what we got. Okay, so clear negative divergence right there on the daily chart, on the RSI and the PPO. You can see here it's starting to turn down as well, so it's extending the negative divergence. Price has been making a higher price, and sorry, you gotta get these pretty clean. All right, right about in there. Just looking at the hourly here. Negative divergence in the hourly, yep, right there. You can see right there is where right there is when it became negative, it started to diverge. This price right here is a higher price on lower momentum, and then this is a higher price on lower momentum. So any higher prices from this level are most likely divergent highs. So the hourly momentum starting to fade, the daily momentum is starting to fade, and yet we have an uptrend line. So this uptrend line is right about, make sure I got it actually marked correctly. I'll have to tighten it up, but it's sitting right now about this 150 area, quite a ways down there, you know, 15% or so. So I think we're probably heading back down to that level. I don't know when it's going to actually hit it, but I think with the hourly divergence, looks like it wants to start to head down to that more major support. Going back to the daily here, a break of the major support sets us up for a break in trend. Right now, just coming back down to that support is just coming back down and testing trend line support. But the daily divergence is telling me that most likely we're going to start to see a break in this support. We don't have it yet, so there's nothing to necessarily short off of. I wouldn't short this one until I saw some trend lines starting to break. So for me, I would watch this until it broke this trend line. An impulsive breakdown would be at the sell signal as long as the divergences are still intact. Here's ROKU. I think I covered this last week. So there's no negative divergence. You can see the momentum is still kind of carrying higher, and price is moving higher as well here on the daily. So I don't see anything bearish there. I marked this trend line out here. Well, I think we're going to get rid of that one. It doesn't mean anything. On the hourly, yeah, I don't see the negative divergence really on the hourly either. So it's, in general, this stock to me just continues to look bullish. If I were long, I mean, this thing could go higher from here, or it could easily come down and tag this trendline support. It's gotten away from it quite a bit. I don't see any signs that are saying it's coming back down, but obviously it could do that. But it still has kind of major trendline support right there. So I would still be bullish on this one, but I wouldn't be adding up here. I'd be looking to buy at support. Here's NEO. I know a lot of you guys like these high-flying kind of momentum stocks. Just don't get carried away emotionally. These things tend to suck people in because they see everyone just making tons of money, and then everybody wants to jump on board. Oftentimes the move or the entries of where you should have taken the position, you're way behind way behind the 8 ball on it. And, oftentimes by the time you find after something's gone up huge, then you're the bag holder, if you're jumping in and trying to get long. So again, you have to have buyers. For every seller, you need a buyer, and so sellers look to sell to the late coming buyers. Just a little bit of advice there. Here's NEO. This one, On the hourly, I've got this uptrend right here, and we are, I mean, there is negative divergence. It's starting to build. You've got it right here, slightly. It's not huge, but it is there. And so what I see, this thing's gotten away from its uptrend line. Could easily pull back down to this trend line of around 21, but that is the uptrend right now. So until it breaks that, it still looks good. Now it is starting. We'll see what happens here. If we turn down soon in NEO, then it will have negative divergence on the daily chart as well. So if that starts to build, look for a break of this trend line. That's how I'd really want to play it, is waiting for the break of the daily trend line right down here at like 23 or so. If it 23 and a half, if it because this thing can just continue to go higher, and there's no sign that tells me that this is the area to get short. Someone asked what broker I use. I use Lightspeed Trader, which is the desktop trading platform, not the web trading platform. The web trading platform is too slow. It's fine for swing trading, but I like to be able to enter and exit positions very quickly. So I have my orders queued up in the desktop platform, and I can execute those. So that is Lightspeed Trader. I believe to use that, you need to have a margin account. But again, my analysis is usually for swing traders. So you don't have to be right on the spot. You don't have to be right at the exact moment. You just, this analysis really is more set up for people looking to catch longer term swings, days, weeks, months, things like that. All right, here's TTD, the trade desk. Looking at this one, we have, it's bullish in general. We don't have negative divergence. You've got an uptrend line, something like that. Possibly starting to wedge out. Let's see here. Yeah. We'll see if that, I only have 2 data points, so I can't mark that as, I can't say accurately that is the top of the wedge, but it could be. Maybe we're starting to create a bearish rising wedge. However, there's no divergence in the indicators. I don't see negative divergence there on the daily. Let's look at the hourly here. Yeah, I don't see negative divergence on the hourly as well. A little bit in the PPO right there. Nothing in the RSI. So, yeah, still bullish in general. Someone asked me to do Rite Aid. It's interesting. I don't look at these too often. But so for this one, I had to go back to the weekly chart. And this is a 1974 low. 2009 low, and then the 2019 low. So this is kind of your bigger picture support all the way down here. And this one, it bounced off that support kind of area right down there. If I look at the daily here, momentum is still moving down and prices are moving down. So bearish in general, but the move has already started. Look at the hourly here. In the short term, prices look like they could move just slightly higher, but yeah, I don't know. I don't like this one. There's kind of mixed signals, so I don't see anything specifically that I would, be looking for. I would say these ranges are probably going to play out. You got these big gaps right here on the short term. There is a gap and there is a gap, so you're kind of in the middle of that range. Bottom of the range, so support should be about 836. Top of the range, 1105, and we're in the middle. This one's interesting. I know lumber, because I've been trying to redo my deck, has gone up like 40 or 50%. And so we'll look at wood, which is a lumber ETF, and yeah, looks like a short. Here's what I see. You had the big run up throughout the year. Here's your support line. I already had this one marked out, to be honest, because I think I'd been looking at it. Back test right here. So we broke support, did a back test, sold off, ran up again, kind of consolidating, just topping, basically creating this topping pattern. And, still looks, it's not, the best short would be right here on the back test, but it's still pretty close to that area. It is, you know, clean negative divergence right there on the daily chart. You can see we made a lower peak in momentum. Price made a marginally higher price. Here's a lower peak. Price made a marginally higher price. Each one of these little pops are divergent highs that are getting sold into. So that looks good. The hourly, it's pretty thinly traded. That's one thing to kind of keep an eye on. Don't load the boat on this thing. It would be my opinion. It is thinly traded. So if you get lots of buyers or lots of sellers coming in, it can move quickly. Near-term price support is right about right there at 62. We break that. We're heading lower, probably going down. You can see right there. Another price support right there at 659.58. So we'll point those out for now. All right, we'll wrap up here with Berkshire Class B shares. The Class A shares are like 100 grand or something. We'll just do the Class Bs. Again, you can see here, and the subscriber pointed out negative divergence. This is what they're talking about here on the daily. There's your negative divergence, and here's your high, you know, your higher price right there. So that was a divergent high. Trend line, yeah, it's about right there. We broke trend. Let's see if we can find anything else on the daily. Yeah, no, that's really what we're working with right here. So uptrend line right here made a divergent high right there. This is your divergent high, which is not your sell signal. That's not the area that you necessarily short at. That's just an area telling you, okay, momentum is now starting to fade. You wouldn't know that momentum was fading until we were up here and the momentum couldn't make a higher high and started to turn down. Then you would know, okay, momentum's starting to fade. Let's keep an eye on it. Look for breakdowns and price support. We broke price support right around in here. And, you know, it pretty much had a clean drop once it broke down, you know, 5-6%. Now it's just kind of legging out, just consolidating. Looks like it wants to go lower. Let's see if we got... Yeah, I mean, I think the trend is still down on this. I see momentum still moving down. I see price still moving down. So I think we're going lower. Near-term price support is, yeah, you know, somewhere probably right down in here, really. I don't know. I'll have to tighten it up, but maybe 192.90. Let's see how far down that is. Yeah, another 8-9%. That could be the area where we'll find some support, kind of in that area. I'll have to tighten that up, but in general, it looks bearish. It's just not objective right now. It's not an objective area to short. I'd rather would have got short way up here at this 220. Now, if you short here, you're at risk of it reversing and doing another back test. You're kind of in no man's land. So just wanted to point that out. But I'm going to wrap it up here, guys. I appreciate that. Again, leave a thumbs up if you find value in this content. Catch you guys on the next one.